And welcome back, everybody, to another live stream on the TKW Facebook page. It seems like we're just doing these once a week at this point. Severe weather just won't go away. We're back with another live stream because we do have severe weather once again, sounding like a broken record, moving into the St. Louis region tomorrow evening, evening. And if you noticed on the graphic, we have upgraded to likely tomorrow, severe weather likely tomorrow. So, of course, just like all the other live streams, we're going to make sure we break down the timing, of course, the impacts, if we're going to be expecting strong tornadoes, hail, damaging winds. There's still some uncertainties, just like the last couple events, so we'll explain those. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you want to let me know what you have for dinner, or if you have ate yet, let me know in the comments below. But how is everybody doing today? Glad to see you, and boy, oh boy, we have lots to talk about in this live stream. There's just a whole bunch of stuff to go over today. And I want to make sure that you guys are here and that everybody knows what's coming to the St. Louis area, because we're going to give you our honest opinion about what we think about this severe weather event, because it may be slightly different from other weather sources, but I will let you know what we are thinking. But how are you guys doing? Let me know where you guys are watching from. Once again, I always like to know where our viewers are from and where we are reaching people around the St. Louis region, because Facebook only gives me a general idea of where you guys are watching from. But let me know in the chat where you guys are tuning in from. Love to be curious and a little bit nosy is what I'm thinking here. So while people are tuning in here, want to let you guys know that we do have a wind advisory tomorrow. So the first thing before we even talk about the severe weather is we have a wind advisory tomorrow from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. Now, this is not anything related to the severe thunderstorm warnings that we could get in the afternoon. It's not for any severe weather event, just in general, just with the system moving in regardless. So southwest winds, so without even the severe weather, we have to pay attention from 1 to 8 p.m. Southwest winds 20 to 30 miles per hour with gusts up to 45 expected. So just letting you know, make sure you don't have two left feet, because it'll be easy to get knocked over. So make sure you're standing upright tomorrow, because it will be a little bit gusty. 45 miles per hour winds. It's not like hurricane force, like we're going to stand in front of the wind and like have to try to stand up. It's not that kind of thing. But make sure when you go to bed tonight and after the live stream, make sure anything that's loose, make sure you put it away properly, secure anything. No flying trampolines. We don't need any of those. I do not need a trampoline on my balcony, so I appreciate that. So we got Caseyville, Illinois, near Potosi, Missouri, and Mike says weather fatigue, sir. Hoping it dies out for everyone, especially Mrs. DeLu. You know, that is a possibility, and we'll break that down for you in just a second. But let's start with the Storm Prediction Center outlook here, and it's a lot of stuff to go over here. So I'm pretty sure by now we know what the colors mean, but if you don't know what the colors mean, we will break it down. Let me get my pen up here. I have everything ready all the time with this live stream except for the pen. So once again, most of us in our area is in a 3 out of 5. Basically, besides around places like Potosi and the Festus area over near Waterloo, Columbia, only a few counties that we cover are in a 3 out of 5. Small little area of a 2 out of 5 is just to our south in the yellow. And then a 1 out of 5, the very lowest threat that is considered severe, is a 1 out of 5. But just want to let you know that all our areas in a 3 out of 5, mostly our general viewing audience is in a 3 out of 5. Up to the north near the Springfield, that is a 4 out of 5, and that's where it can really get some serious business. At this time, I do not think it's going to go towards the south. I do not think we're going to reach a 4 out of 5 at this current moment. I have been asked that multiple times. I do not see that being likely. So let's go over the categories. So this is the tornado risk here. This looks a little bit different than the last couple events. Take a look here. So in the yellow, we have a 10% of seeing a tornado within 25 miles of a point. So part of Lincoln County and Jersey County and places up near like Quincy, Hannibal, also in the 10%. Most of us are in the 5% down here in the Cocoa color, and then the green is a 2%, which is the lowest without being 0. So there you go. So that is the threat. 10% means it's a little bit more elevated, and I just want to let you know and not scare you that we are very close on that yellow line there. And do I expect that to get shifted a little bit south? Not at this current moment with the latest guidance. Do not see that threat shifting a little bit south, but the main talk of the town, I don't want you guys to get scared over the tornado outlook, but I just want to let you guys know that there is a chance within this fencing area that we could get a strong side of a tornado, and strong side means EF2 plus. So the Storm Prediction Center says it is possible, it's not 0. So I just want to throw it out there, but that is not the main point of this event. The main point of this event, why we have an enhanced risk, why we have a 3 out of 5 is for the wind. So if not everybody, this is a 45% chance of seeing damaging winds over, what's that, 60 miles per hour. 60, 65 miles per hour. So very high likelihood that we'll see that. And then a 15% chance, or I think this is 30% chance that we'll see damaging winds above 60 miles per hour. So the very far half of our area is towards the low end of the threat. It's mainly north of I-44 is where we're seeing the main region of severe weather. And let's go to the hail outlook here. The hail outlook, it is on the lower side. You have 15% chance of seeing hail, and down in the light brown is a 5%. But they did add that we could see up to golf balls and maybe some baseballs being possible in isolated areas. But look at the sharp cutoff here. You see how the line like dies down? That indicates, even without looking at the models, that we are going to be having a line of storms that are going to be fading as they push down to the south. So even without looking at the models, you can clearly tell that there's going to be some type of line that is going to be moving through our area. And is the stream good on your guys' side, or is that just me? It looks like it's like bugging, or it looks like we're okay. I'm gonna, maybe it's just the platform here. Okay. Without further ado, just let me know if everything is okay, because it was like freezing a little bit. Hopefully that's not the case here. Alright, let's look at the models. Let's get into the good stuff. Let's go look into the timing. So, okay, it's fine. Okay, good. Okay, we're going to look at the timing, everybody, and this is the time that we should share the live stream, because this is the most crucial part to any live stream, is the timing. So, let's see. Okay, everybody says it's good. Mike says great stream. Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. So here goes to the timing and my honest opinion. So it's going to be a very, very good section right here. So this is where you need to pay attention, okay? Don't click off the live stream, because it's the most crucial part of the live stream that you'll watch so far. So let's take a look at the timing. So let's not worry about Tuesday. Tuesday is basically almost done. Nothing to worry about there. So take a look at Wednesday here. Look at the top part near the Springfield. Can you guys see the Springfield, the Quincy area? You see how there's thunderstorms and the timing is 10 a.m.? Look, there is thunderstorms that are going to be popping up in front of the area. And you're probably asking, hey, Kenny, will that be like last time and ruin the event? Well, I don't think so. I think the storms will stay in north central Missouri. I think they'll stay out of our area, and they'll still allow the atmosphere to recover. So, not really seeing anything likely at that point, but it is possible that the morning convection could shift towards our area and maybe limit some of the severe weather event. We just won't know. To be honest with you, to be 100% honest, we really won't know until they start getting going. But I do think they'll stay out of our area. I don't see that being a factor. So we're going to have a lot of dry time during the day. You're going to feel the atmosphere heat up. It's going to feel nasty. It's going to feel ugly. You're just going to know that something's going to be happening later. So as we get into the afternoon, evening time, we do have the line of showers and thunderstorms developing. And you see when they develop, they're very isolated. They're very discrete by themselves, that's where the strong tornado threat. Remember how I showed you the tornado threat not too long ago? It's the highest probability up to the north. It's because when they first form, if they can tap into the instability and the dynamics, they could get going fairly quickly. But once they get going, they're going to form in a line. Now, to be honest with you again, we're not sure how quickly that's going to do it. The model here, at least this one, shows about it says about an hour, but we really can't say like it's going to take an hour. So that's one of the things that we're going to be monitoring throughout the evening here. And then as it shifts towards the southeast, you can see the cold front is still severe. I still expect a couple severe storms, damaging winds as the primary threat. They're going to be moving fast. Like, you blink your eyes and it's over. They're going to be moving up to 60 to maybe 70 miles per hour. You're really not going to have a lot of lead time if we do get a warning. So make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts. We are going to be live as well, so you have those ways to get those quick warnings to you. And as we get into 8 p.m., the line starts to break apart, and that's really going to start limiting the severe weather event. The sun is going to start going down, and you can see it's basically going to fall apart, where it's just, once it gets down near the Carbondale, it's more just showers and thunderstorms. But we really have to monitor, like, especially if you're near like the Lincoln County, Warren County, St. Charles, Jerseyville, over near Madison, and we'll put St. Clair in there just in case. Those are the places that you need to watch. So if you're in those areas, I will have the greatest concern in those areas. Everyone south of there, especially I-44, is really going to be on the low end scale, just in case if they do decide to make it there. But I think all hazards are still possible, but I'm really leaning more towards a damaging wind and hail threat. We'll have some tornadoes possible, but it'll be quick spin-up tornadoes because they will be in a line. But the main tornado risk will be towards the north, and they're really going to start falling apart as they get through our area towards the evening time and overnight 9 p.m. And it will fully clear out by the time we get to midnight. So the timing is about 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. is what the timing is going to be. There's also some uncertainties. We'll show you the next model here in just a second. There's also some uncertainties if this line is weaker, and it also, like, the uncertainties to make it sound easier to understand here is we're not sure how far this line goes, how far it'll make it south here. You can see it gets right to about I-70 and it just falls apart. So that's something that we're going to be watching here. So we're not in the complete bullseye. There's not 100% chance that there's going to be a severe weather outbreak. It's just not too confident in that right now. And definitely not a tornado outbreak. They're not seeing any signals of that, but you can see the line is going to be moving through. And some other factors is the cold front could always go quicker, it could always go slower. So the timing is approximate, but let's say about between 4 and about 11 midnight is the general timing here. And let's look at some other models, because anytime that you forecast models, you can't just look at a model, screenshot it, post it on Facebook, and say, here, take a look. So we're going to take another look at the NAM model. So here is the NAM model. It shows a bit heavier convection in the late morning to afternoon over northwest Missouri. Not expected that to be a factor in our area, but you can see once it goes through our area, the NAM model just has it fallen apart by the time it reaches our area. So there's still uncertainties of how far this line will go, but I think truly, in my opinion, if you're in the Warrenton, Lincoln, the Warren County, Lincoln, especially Jerseyville, St. Charles, and off towards like Columbia, I think those areas really need to be paying attention, because that's where, if it gets there, it could still be severe, and we could have a few warnings, maybe tornado warnings in those areas. But I want all of us to be prepared, okay? I want all of us to be prepared for all hazards, tornadoes, damaging winds, and hail. But let's slide the damaging wind bar a little bit higher than all of them. I'm not really seeing a strong tornado outbreak where we're talking about significant damage. I would definitely not be this calm right now telling you guys that if that was the case. But you can see the NAM model just falls completely apart by the time it moves right through an area, limiting any severe weather event that will be possible for most of our area. But I don't want to downplay it. Like I said, I want to let you know that the potential is still there. I still want you guys to be on guard, but don't really think it's enough to stay up panicking about. It's more just monitor throughout the day, and we'll be here as well. St. Clair, Illinois. St. Clair County, Illinois is what I mean. I apologize about that. But let's take a look at one more model because, like I said, I like to take advantage, or I like to compare of all the areas. Yes, it was St. Clair County, Illinois. And we're going over timing. If you're just tuning in, we'll go back over the severe weather outlook risk for everybody. But we're just going to go over the timing here. And let's take a look here. So this is the National Weather Service model. This is the RRFSA. Don't really need to understand that. Just know it's just the National Weather Service model. Another model that we use. And let's put the latest data that's coming through. And okay, let's take another look at this data. So here's another model run. And basically all we're looking for, we're making sure it's staying consistent here. So it's showing some thunderstorms, showing it a little bit more north than the other models here. Then the storms come through here. This is a little bit aggressive. This is a little bit strong here. Look here at 6 p.m. So timing is just about right, like 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. And like I said, I want to stress that it's going to be moving very, very fast. These storms are going to be moving very, very fast, which is why the damaging wind threat is so high. But you can see this model is showing a little bit more of aggressive take on the area, which we could have a few, if not numerous, severe storms that are going to be moving through the area. But the point is that we're seeing a line of storms moving. We're not seeing the discrete supercells that pose the very strong tornado risk that we need to panic about. More showing a line of thunderstorms that we have had in the past, but just a little bit stronger in my opinion. So then you can see as it goes through the area by 11 p.m. still showing the same thing, that all the area is nice and dry and we're nice and calm. So that is what the timing is looking like compared to all the models. And let me just check something real quick. Haley, I see your comment. I will get to in just a second. I just want to check something real quick, make sure I don't forget. Have some talking points just to make sure I cover everything, because there is a lot to cover here. So okay, got that up here, and just in a quick second, we're going to go over a couple of the fail modes, and we'll go over some other meteorological data to really talk about the storm a little bit more. Haley says, so I get off at 4 and have to drive from Brentwood to Ferguson. Will I have enough time before it hits us, you think? I think so. According to the latest guidance, a lot of it does not have it starting till about 6 p.m. So hitting that general area not till about 6 p.m. And the timing, surprisingly, everyone, has been very consistent, which is usually hard to see in this situation with the timing, especially when you have the line of storms here. But basically, one thing I wanted to know is that, especially with the fail modes, let's go to the HRRR. Also, hey everyone, just for you guys, we will have another update just like we normally do late tonight around like 9 p.m. More new data runs for the evening time. So after the live stream, data runs again, and we'll have a text post because a lot of people, some people can't watch the live stream when it happens. They like to read it afterwards. So we have that option available. So basically, a couple things is that tomorrow, something to think about is tomorrow is going to be very gusty. Remember, we talked about that. We had the wind advisory, and just wanted to show you the model here. The model is showing at 2 p.m. like 40 mile per hour wind gusts up to near 50 miles per hour near the Quincy and Springfield. Like I said, don't have 2 left feet because it's going to knock you over very easily. So make sure you're standing properly so you don't get blown over, because we don't need any wind injuries as well. So, like, a couple other things is that we're noting is that, the winds, sometimes when it gets very gusty, sometimes the storms have struggles forming. So that is something that we're going to be monitoring. Don't really see that as a situation because all the models are very agreement on storms popping up. But that could be a fail mode, okay? Fail mode number 2 is that when we have storms, they create an outflow. And most of the time outflows like cool air, but they can last a while. The outflows can last a while. So like when there's a storm, like say let's put the future radar back on so you guys can see right here. So the future radar, if we do right here, is so we're gonna have morning storms. Take a look. We have morning storms. Now, if these morning storms up here create an outflow boundary, that could help spark the storms. That will help spark storms in our area. That'll be like ignition fluid. If these storms out here leave an outflow, you won't really see it on the radar because sometimes they don't show, but they are present for hours. So that could also help the severe weather event as well. And also that the tornado risk just also looks low. So that is something to note. But like I said, the timing here is basically, I would say, let's start watching around 4 p.m. for development. And let's also, the main time, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But make sure you tell everyone. Just want to let you guys know. Make sure you tell everyone that you know around the St. Louis region that we will be live streaming the severe weather event as well. So we're going to be here providing live coverage. We're going to have all of our team in here as well to make sure we're not missing anything. Make sure you're keeping you calm. And we're going to walk you through the storm throughout the whole evening. Make sure you guys are okay because I believe that we're all going to make it through, okay? I truly believe that it's going to be okay. We have seen these multiple times before, and it's not a guarantee outbreak. We could wake up tomorrow, the storms last a little bit too long, they don't produce an outflow, or it's too windy that the storms can't form enough to become severe, and we have no severe weather events. So, in my opinion, it could still be conditional. So it still could be conditional with this severe weather event. It's not 100% slam dunk that we're going to have EF3 tornadoes. Your house is going to get destroyed. You need to panic. You need to have a generator. You need to dig a basement. It's not all that. Okay, it's not all that at all. Severe weather is likely, just like the usual. Damaging winds, hail, and some quick spin up tornadoes will be possible. Let's take a look at the chat. Brian says, hey, I'm going to need to start doing Kansas weather. I have gotten a few messages. People want me to cover like all of Missouri and Illinois. I wish I had more time for that, but I can't. Mike says, I don't know if it's due to the social media, but it sure seems like hail and damaging hail is much more, yeah. Yeah, damaging winds and hail is more, common at this point, and damaging hail with the atmosphere. Maria says, heading 55 north to Wisconsin tomorrow night around 5 p.m. Is that an okay time, or do you recommend a better time? Hey, Maria, I don't think that's a good time. This land, because they're going to be going... Because the storms are going to be forming, I haven't really checked the sea up here, but at least from my knowledge, it's not a good time to go at that time. Because the storms here, let's get the timing up here. So I would not. Because you're going to hit strong storms, and when you're going through like Springfield and Peoria, it's a very high chance that we'll see strong tornadoes. So I purposely would not drive. If you can, try to go very early in the morning and try to get up there probably before, So you can drive in the morning storms. It could pose a severe weather risk around 10 a.m. But basically telling you the honest opinion, I would not. I would not drive up there. Yeah. I don't know if there's another way. I don't think there's a other way to go, but 55 is not a good highway to be on tomorrow. That is a very dangerous highway to be on, especially around 5 o'clock. Yeah, it's going to be strong storms and also Maria. Also, Maria, it's also going to be very windy. Like, we're talking about 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So even if you don't have strong storms, it's still going to be windy, and it could push high-profile vehicles, and it could just push anything. So it's just not going to be a very good ideal. And I have to drive my truck tomorrow, so that is going to be very nice. Going to have two hands on the wheel while I drive, because it's going to be very windy. And purposely, I don't like driving in the wind. I have never liked driving in the wind, because it's like, you can't see. My thing is, it's like, I'm not scared of wind. It's just the fact that you can't see it. You can't see wind, and that's the scary part. You can hear it sometimes, but you just can't see it. Okay, so let me just take a quick drink here. So, something else I want to show you. You probably have also seen this before. There's something called a significant tornado parameter. And a significant tornado parameter just gives values of the probability of seeing a very strong tornado. So I would like to show you this to help you guys. So you can see significant tornado parameter. What this means is that strong tornadoes, this is like the strong tornado index or tornado index. Can't go off this 100%, but here, let me show you. So you can see the tornado parameter values tomorrow are very high in this area. Look towards our area, everybody. Look at our area. Watch our area with these colors, okay? Bright colors, bad. Light colors, good, okay? Easiest way to remember. All these numbers like 6.7, everything like that means nothing for learning purposes. So as we move through the day, look, brighter values still out of our area, okay? Brighter values still out of our area. Very good, very good. Now, look what happens when this line moves through our area. Look at the values. Still there, but very, very low. Very, very low for the tornado parameters, which is good. So, like I said, it shows that the tornado threat is low, but if we do get one, we just have to monitor the tornado activity. So, still monitoring mode, just not guaranteed. Now, if we were, hey everyone, if we were like in these bright colors, like up here near Illinois, Indiana border, I would start freaking you out and make you panic, because that is just not what you want to see. But we are not seeing that, which is a good sign. So check box number 1, that is good in the tornado department. Other things we look at is the supercell composite. This is almost the same thing as the tornado. Let's just say a tornado parameter, but this is like for thunderstorms, severe weather. So let's take a look at this. It doesn't show the location. So look as we go into Wednesday. Look at the severe thunderstorm parameters. You can see our main severe weather risk is way up here. Look where all those colors are bright near together. See how they're light around our area? That means that there is potential there, but it's just not a crazy extreme signal. And then as we get into the event, you can see the colors over here start to die down, and these colors maintain themselves, where we can still see some severe storms, but it's not an outbreak, because the chart is like 12 to 14, which is high. It's still high, but we're not seeing like 34, 38, 42 things. So that is also one thing to note as well. And if we take a look at the hodograph, lots of energy, all this algebra 2 stuff. There is spin in the atmosphere that we have to monitor. There is energy that we have to monitor. So, like I said, the parameters are set for a severe weather event, but not a severe weather outbreak, at least for our area. And you see how I said the tornado parameter? See how this is the tornado outlook. See how it lines up where those bright colors were? And then over here where they weren't as bright, the colors are a little bit lighter. So you can see how the models are looking at here. But want to let you guys know too. I know I always say I want to let you guys know. but I just want to make sure you guys are over prepared and really know what's happening. Just not looking at the graphics and say, oh, this looks bad. I want to let you guys know what this means. But basically, so like there is a tornado outlook and the severe weather event, but I would be more worried about the severe weather event if there is no fail modes. Okay, so like I said, we could still wake up tomorrow and we get throughout the day and it's like, oh my goodness, it's not even going to be that bad. There's a possibility that we could say that. Now the probability is that is on the lower end side, but it's not zero. But the main time frame, if you're just tuning in, is about 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. And we're going to do our best to get on live as early as we can. I think we should be able to. I think I got that squared away, but we will be live covering this storm. So if you know anybody that's looking for live coverage, we're one of the very few that do live coverage. We will be here providing live coverage, and we will also be blowing up your Facebook feed with updates throughout the day tomorrow, so you guys are aware of what's happening before it happens. So if we still think it's on par for severe weather event, we will let you guys know. And if we think it's a little bit on the weaker side, we will also let you know. I will let you know. But we will have Josh on board, our severe weather analyst. He's going to be watching. We'll have Kanai, my girlfriend, behind the scenes. And we'll also have my dad as our report and warning coordinator, making sure that we get those reports straight to you as quickly as possible and make sure the warnings are being posted to the page. So, like, we have everybody on deck ready to go. They're going to be clocking in, I think about like 4 p.m. I think they're going to clock in and be okay. So let's take a look. Last thing we're going to take a look before we answer any questions here is National Weather Service graphic. And so the highest threat, they say, is Wednesday afternoon and evening. So Wednesday morning, mainly central Illinois. We already talked about that. We discussed that. We understand that. Wednesday afternoon is much of the area. So let's take a look. So their timing here, we can blow it up in front of your face. Timing here, let's see if they agree. So the timing, mostly in the purple, is 6 to 9 p.m. That's approximately what we said. 3 to 6 between the light blue colors. And 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. towards the south, where, in my opinion, falling apart. So it's basically the I-70 highway in Missouri and Illinois. Anywhere along or north of that has the greatest severe weather threat. Gusting winds will be a factor. We'll see if that could limit some storm development with up to 50 mile per hour winds. That would be possible. And of course, this is National Weather Service confidence. Very few times that you see in the medium, all in the medium. So basically, there are high confidence that thunderstorms will develop in the morning away from our area, that at least some of them could be severe. We'll monitor that. Don't think it'll be likely for our area. What they're still uncertain is confidence is high that there will be thunderstorms, which we expect that, but confidence is lower on how far south they will extend. Most guidance indicates that morning storms will be limited to extreme northeast Missouri and central Illinois, blah, blah, blah. So that is what they're watching as well. And at least isolated severe thunderstorms are expected in the afternoon, but the coverage of these storms remains somewhat uncertain and how far south the strongest storms reach. So, like I said, they think it's isolated. I think it's more scattered, isolated to scattered storms, so I agree with that. And then they even say all hazards are on the tables with damaging winds as the primary threat. So it's always good when me and the National Weather Service are thinking the very same thing. But the tornado, on the low end, not outbreak level, but we could see some strong storms, mainly northeast Missouri, like I said. Not really looking too much for our scattered hail up the golf ball, but I think that could be extended a little bit over to the right area. And then damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour, and these storms are going to be moving very quickly. So that is the severe weather outlook for Wednesday. So lots of information. But at the very end, at least, is that severe weather we'll put likely, because it is likely that it could happen. Just the fail modes will be the reason why it doesn't happen. But I think that there's more chance of seeing likely. But we just have to watch the wind the wind tomorrow, and not to get it blown over, the wind for the storms. And the morning convection, we'll have to see where that starts, and we have to see where the cold front starts, and as well. So there's a lot of things. We're going to be very busy tomorrow on top of my day job of driving. So lots of stuff tomorrow. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to have an update at 9 p.m. We're going to wait for the evening data to roll in of all the models, compare the models, talk it over with my severe weather analyst, Josh, see what he expects. But in my opinion, damaging wind threat is like guaranteed if we get storms. Guaranteed that we'll see damaging winds. These storms are going to be moving fast. Quick warnings that will be needed to be issued, so we're going to have all that prepared for us. And honestly, I think we will be okay. Even if we do get severe storms, we will be okay. I'm going to be here with you watching these storms and providing live coverage. So, we're going to be here. We're going to provide every resource that we can to keep you guys prepared and ahead of the storm. And of course, we'll keep you updated throughout the morning time as well to figure out what the storms are going to be doing towards the afternoon time. So, like I said, we're going to keep you prepared, and we're not going to scare you if we don't need to, because that's not why we're here. We're not here for your money. We're not here for your views. We're here to keep you safe, and that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. That is our top priority to do it tomorrow. And like I said, we're going to post lots of information. Make sure you read it. Don't skim through it, because there's a lot of good information. I break it down very easy for you to read. So, thank you. I'll be working most of the day and most of the night. Yeah, and the good thing about, doing a digital weather page is that you can take me on the go. So wherever you are, just tune in and you'll have live coverage no matter where you are around the St. Louis region if you're on the go anywhere. So like I said, make sure if you know anybody, make sure you just let them know that we're going to be providing live coverage and updates throughout the severe weather event. Can't do a video update because, I have to work, but we'll make sure we post the graphics and make sure everything's okay for you as well. And last thing before we head off is the FPC updates like 4 times a day. So they update about like midnight. That's when we'll get our new outlook. And then we'll update it around like 7 a.m. And we'll also get one around like noon, 1 o'clock. And then we get one at like 8 p.m. So the Storm Prediction Center is going to be monitoring this all day, adjusting the outlooks back and forth. So make sure you're checking back for the latest data, because the morning data that I post might be different than the afternoon data that I post. So make sure you're checking back, because Facebook always doesn't show the current feed right to your phone screen on your homepage. So make sure you're checking back for that, because this is a day that you want to be monitoring throughout the day. A lot of things could happen. A lot of things could limit the severe weather, and a lot of things could enhance the severe weather. So like I said, just want you to be ready. Make sure tonight when you go to sleep, make sure to go in your settings and turn on all your alerts. Make sure all the alerts. It'll be nice if we had an alert where I could call you, stuff like that. It'll be cool. We're working on that. But make sure all the alerts are on. Just make sure you know where to go, and make sure you plan your day around 4 to 11 p.m. for a severe storm. So we don't need anybody driving, any vacations or anything like that. Go early in the morning if you want to get out of this stuff. So that is what we're watching here. But just a quick recap. Most of the area is in a 3 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. It goes up to 5 out of 5. So we're right in the middle here. 2 out of 5 for a little bit of our area. And then 1 out of 5 close near Cape Girardeau, Ironton, Mountain View, West Plains, like that. So that is what we're looking at. Tasha said, that's what I always do. I work and watch. Hey, I appreciate that. And make sure if you guys see me in public, make sure you guys come up and let me know. I see I don't know if it's related or not, but I see a lot of people like stare at me and like smile like, oh, is this like where he is? Like, but yeah. So right before we head off, it looks like we had a couple people jump in. We're going to go over the timing just one more time. One more time, and then I'm going to hop off, stare at my computer screens, all 6 of them, and we're going to have another text update later tonight around like 8:30, 9 o'clock. So make sure you're looking out for that. So let's make sure the computer is going. Also, they have the soccer game out. That's off topic. They have the soccer game out in Kansas City tonight. Glad I didn't have to drive out that way because traffic looked pretty busy. So let's see. Why is it not showing up here? Okay. Okay, right before we go off, last minute timing if you just joined. Yeah, the HBC does update multiple times a day, so our morning outlook could always change because they can always update the outlook at each. Like, if they really wanted to, they could update it at midnight, then they update it again at 7, then they can update it at like 11, they can do it at 2. It's like, really, their schedule is like very, very difficult to follow. So just to let you guys know, just make sure you're following and checking back on the weather page because you might not see my morning post until afternoon, and then the afternoon one's out completely different. So here's the timing, last minute before we head off here because we're going to watch the soccer games tonight. So Wednesday here, most of the day on Wednesday, I want to make that clear. Most of the day on Wednesday is going to be dry, but don't let that fool you. Okay, don't let it fool you. You're going to feel it. And as we get into Wednesday evening around 4 p.m., that's where you need to especially click on the weather page and start monitoring it consistently throughout the evening. Because around 5 p.m., we'll have the line of showers and thunderstorms. You can see how quickly it forms. It only takes about an hour, which shows these storms move very quickly. And then by the time we get to about 7 p.m., starts to fall apart. We'll see if that happens or there remains some strength. That could also determine the severe weather factors as well. But mostly the top half north of I-70 is where we're watching here as well. And then it's going to be moving through our area 8, 9, 10 o'clock, and also 11 by midnight. It's going to be out of the area. So that is the timing here. You can see the line is staying, and then it moves through it, and then it starts to fall apart. Still could remain severe. Still could have some severe storms around 8 p.m. And then it's finally falling apart. But don't look at the model and say, oh, look, it's going around St. Louis. We're not going to have a Captain America shield up that's going to move the storms around, because if so, I would put it in the whole state of Missouri if we could. So don't look at exact locations. To just get the idea that we're going to have a line of storms coming through, and it's going to fall apart by the time it gets south of the St. Louis metro area. So that is the timing, and we'll see in the evening data, see if that still stays the same and what the risk is looking like as well. So that is the severe weather event. That is the severe weather discussion. If you guys have any questions before I hop off, make sure to pop it in the chat. If not, I think we'll wrap up the live stream. Get a little bit of energy for tomorrow because it's going to be a very active day. And like I said, please just make sure you're staying aware of what's going on. Just make sure you know what's happening. Don't go outside clueless and forget that it's going to happen. It's not one of those type of days, okay? Not trying to scare you, but just make sure you know that storms are possible, severe storms are possible, especially in the evening. So don't go around, don't stop at Buffalo Wild Wings, just go straight home after work, and you'll be okay. And you can talk to me. So there we go. That should be your plan tomorrow. Just go straight home, monitor the Facebook page. Like I said, we're going to have multiple updates throughout the day. We're going to make sure we do that for you, and we'll be good. Mom says, thanks for all the updates and keeping us informed. You're very welcome. And like I said, just want to let you guys know that, we'll be okay. Okay? We will be okay. Not downplaying the event, but just letting you know that we have seen these before. We have dealt with these before. This is not the first severe weather event that we have had in the lifetime that Missouri has been formed. So we know. We've seen worse. It's not like the March 15th tornado where we had like multiple tornado warnings for everyone. Significant tornadoes. Not one of those events at all. It's not a Joplin tornado event. It's not, it's not one of those for our area. So that helps you out a little bit. But damaging winds and hail, mark that on your list as the primary concern. Also tonight, make sure alerts are set and you monitor the page for additional information. So you have to work till 6:30. You have to make sure you're watching a live stream, Mom. And you'll be okay. Alrighty, everybody. Of course, I did not make the outro ready because I always forget that. So let's see. Is there a sunset? Let's see, sunset area. Let's see. Hello. Alrighty, we're gonna get the outro. Oh yeah, this is a nice camera to look at. Okay. Without further ado, I think we're gonna wrap up the live stream. I know you guys just want me to talk to you guys all night long. I know that's what you guys want, but unfortunately, you know, there's just nothing to talk about anymore. So, you know, we're gonna wrap up the live stream for now. I'm pretty sure we'll see you tomorrow, so you guys will be okay a couple hours by yourself, and we will keep you updated throughout the day and tonight with the latest information on the severe weather event. So I appreciate you guys tune in. Make sure you share this information with your friends and family and let them know that we'll be live as well so they can monitor. And we'll see you next time. Take care.